Hey guys, welcome back to Salem, Cellar. So when people discuss horror films, there's some obvious killers that are always being talked about. Michael Myers, now Arthur Clown, Pennywise, but there's so many underrated killers that are just not talked about at all. So today we're going to be discussing my 7 favorite underrated killers. I'll be right back. So one of my favorite underrated killers is from one of my favorite movies from the 90s. It's I Know What You Did Last Summer, and I still know what you did last summer. Everyone discussed Ryan Felipe, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Freddie Prinze Jr., but nobody's talking about Ben Willis. Think about it, guys. He has to be in his 50s. No way he's under 50. Come on. I think he has like grown adult children. Some of them are dead, but he has to be over 50. And he is just taking out these teens that are in shape. He took out Ryan Felipe, completely in shape. Sarah Michelle Gellar, think about the fight that she put into this. She was running for a good 10 minutes and he still caught up to her. Spoiler alert, he still killed her. Like, he literally one by one took out these teens and they were in shape and they were ready to run and fight. But he defeated most of them. And I'm pretty sure I know there was like a third film, I think. I never watched that. I stopped at the I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. I'm not sure if that character is back in the other films, but I'm pretty sure he survived, unless it was a nightmare, the second film. Pretty sure. But it could have been a nightmare. But either way, he was badass. Like, he was walking around with his slicker on, just hooking people. Like, and nobody talks about him. Ben Willis, he's a badass, and he needs to be talked about. So yes, he is number 7 on my list. And yes, he did get help in the second film, Will Benson, yeah. But he still should be discussed and praised because he's awesome. So my next on my list is Brenda Bates. Now, she is the killer in Urban Legends. Now, we don't have that many female slashers. So it was really nice, especially in the 90s. I'm young, I'm watching this movie. They have Joshua Jackson, a bunch of actors and actors that I loved, Jared Leto. And we're not really expecting the killer to be female. Surprise, surprise, at the end we find out that it is a female. And that was just so exciting for me. And you know, Brenda was badass. Like, think about how she killed these people. She took out pretty much everybody in the film, including a dog. Rest in peace to that dog. That was disturbing. Think about how deranged you have to be to put a dog in a microwave. Like, that is horrendous, but it's also badass, taking people out, waiting in the back seat. Like, she just did not play any games. I could appreciate that, but nobody talks about her. Did you even know her last name was Bates? I think that's pretty cool. Wasn't even her last name, honestly, because I think she was faking who she was to get close to, you know, the main person she wanted to take out for doing an urban legend and taking out her boyfriend. I have to actually look into that, but I thought it was pretty interesting that her last name was Bates. I loved it. So Brenda is played by Rebecca Gayheart, but did you know Alicia Witt, who's in the new Longlegs film, she stars in this film as Natalie. Did you recognize her from Longlegs? I actually just recently seen it, and I'm like, oh my God, that's her. And she also was in The Walking Dead for, I think, like 1 or 2 episodes. But yeah, she stars in this film. She's the one who Brenda's going after for killing her boyfriend. You know, pretty much killing her boyfriend. Now, this movie is stacked. If you have not seen Urban Legends, definitely check it out. Daniel Harris is in this. Tara Reid. It is just such a great film. So if you skipped it in the 90s, revisit this film. You won't be disappointed. Number 5 on my list is from The Hitcher. John Ryder. Yes. He literally is so menacing, but so relentless. Like, he legit goes after these two teenagers with everything he has. Like, do you remember the scene where he hooks the girlfriend up to the two trucks? Like, that is insane alone, but like, he murders entire families in the beginning. You remember when they get back to the car and literally everybody's dead, including the children. This movie was brutal. He was brutal. He did not stop. He was a man on a mission. He is not talked about enough, in my opinion. There's something so psychotic about him, but so impressive. He just doesn't, he's not like, I have nothing to lose. I'm just gonna hunt these people down and stalk them and ruin their lives. Should I say anything else? Like, he's just completely impressive. Can you think about how many people he killed before this film? Probably like an insane amount of money, because it seems like he has nothing else to do. Number 4 on my list is Jerry Blake from The Stepfather. Now, I remember watching these movies as a kid, and I have a stepfather, and it was just so creepy. I was just always creeped out about him. Like, he is absolutely genius. He goes into these families that have a single mother, and he is just wreaking havoc wherever he goes. Like, neighbors he's killing, friends he's killing, and he doesn't care. And he's literally just gonna kill this whole family or escape and then go do it to somebody else. I love these films. Even the remake wasn't that bad, but there's just something about Jerry Blake that always impressed me. He is just, I don't know what he really gets out of doing these things to these families. He's just probably like completely insane, batshit crazy, but he just takes a lot of people out and he gets away with it. He's charming and he's psychotic. What's not to love, right? If you haven't seen the Stepfather films, they are so good. So good. Even if they're old, they kind of seem outdated. They're really good. Like I said, the remake was okay. It was good. It was not as good as the original, though, unfortunately. Number 3 on my list is Harry Warden from My Bloody Valentine. I really don't think he gets enough credit, Harry. Like, we talk about all these other killers from the movies from, was it the 80s? I'm thinking it was the 80s, maybe it was older. But I think he's like completely left out. I think he's just a killer that you didn't see coming. And I'm not just talking about the remake, I'm talking about the original. I did not see that coming with the remake, I want to say. I don't want to give any spoilers just in case you didn't see it on who the killer is, but he is just impressive, and I think he needs a little bit more praise. The remake wasn't that good, though. I'm going to be completely honest. I love Jensen Ackles, but it was just bad. Number 2 on my list is Brandon Breyer from Brightburn. Have you seen Brightburn? It is so freaking good. I still hope we're gonna get more movies from it. From the way it ended, it set up for like a whole evil universe. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but it needs to. I heard rumors that it was, but we'll see. But yeah, Brandon is insane. Now, I'm pretty sure he's being controlled by something on his planet because he doesn't start this way. But think about how he kills his aunt and uncle, how he kills his father, how he kills his mother. Sorry, I'm spoiling the movie for you if you haven't seen it. But he is just brutal and he does not care. If you get in his way, he's gonna take you out. And this is, think about it, Superman, but evil. How powerful is Superman? Laser eyes, he can fly, he has the strength, but evil. Some of these death scenes were just, whoa, like shocking. And he gets away with it at the end. Who's gonna suspect a little boy from doing these things? How is it possible for a little boy to do these things? And there's a scene at the very end, you see a plane crashed into his house. It's pretty much covering up everything he did. He killed all those people too. So he didn't just kill his aunt and uncle. He just didn't kill his parents. He killed an entire plane filled with people. Now, if he's not completely badass and indestructible, like he's indestructible, guys. Like, why is nobody talking about Brandon Breyer? I don't know. Like, he's a serial killer. He has supernatural powers. He's an alien, whatever you want to say, but he is a serial killer. Maybe Brightburn was in a slasher, and technically, I don't know if it would be. I guess it would be considered a horror. Yeah, I could consider it a horror. But come on, this guy deserves some praise. Or this boy, he's a boy. He's a little kid. I don't remember how old he was, but honestly, he couldn't be over 12. I don't think he hit the teens yet. So let's hope that we get a sequel to Brightburn, and let's bring in more characters, because they show little clippets of like an evil sea person, which is supposed to be like evil Aquaman, evil Wonder Woman. I think that would be amazing. So last but certainly not least on my list, number 1 is Rusty Nail from Joyride. Think about this guy. Think about how many people he probably murdered and got away with. I didn't see the sequel. I kind of just stopped at the first one because it was just so good. But he literally starts just like killing people off because these 2 guys pranked him. Come on. Like, he's completely sadistic and he's completely insane. He's like, I'm going to ruin your lives. I'm going to kill whoever gets in my way, and I don't care. This is fun for me. Like, there's a scene and he's like, he has the shotgun in the girl's face, and he's like, oh, once they open the door, it's gonna blow your head off, and he's smiling and he's so excited and he wants to watch it happen. Sadistic. He literally was just like, didn't he rip off a guy's jaw? Wasn't the guy in a coma, like the jerk from the beginning of the film that was a racist, that was in the hotel? Yeah, rips his jaw clean off. Now, Joyride is such a great film. Rest in peace to Paul Walker. I love this film. It is underrated, and so is Rusty Nail. People need to talk about this guy because he is insane. He's a trucker and he does not care. Like, I can't even imagine who he killed before this movie. Like, if that's like what's gonna trigger you to just go on a murdering spree, like when somebody cuts you off at the light, do you go back to their house and kill their family? When somebody gets your order wrong, when you're ordering Domino's, do you go and murder everybody they've ever met? This is how sick this guy is. So yeah, we need to discuss Rusty Nail more. All right, so these are my top 7 favorite underrated killers. Who is yours? I would want to hear exactly who is your underrated killer. There's so many, honestly. I stopped at 7 because I could have been talking about these all day long, but these are my favorite from some of my favorite movies. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will be right back.